If you are having suicidal thoughts and you're wanting or planning to act on those thoughts, please call or text 988 or chat on 988lifeline.org. Podcast is Powerfully Navigating Suicidal Thoughts.
And I'm passionate about creating an environment of love, acceptance, and understanding for those facing mental health issues, especially suicidal thoughts.
I'm Vicki, and I'm involved in powerfully living to end death by suicide. I practice the principles of family as a place of love, growth, and commitment.
Hi, Vicki. I am just so interested in what it is you have to say about aiming to stay an adult-like state rather than a childlike emotional state. And I'm wondering, what does that mean to you? Because when I think about it, I'm like, but if I'm a child and I'm emotional, like, isn't that like a thing that people do?
Well, I was observing my grandson this last week, and he's almost 3 years old, and he just like goes into the state. You know, he was sick and he was hungry and he had a fever, and he went into this huge emotional state of crying easily and being this like puddle. You just go into this puddle, I call it a puddle state, where you just kind of ragdoll. And he can't really tell you what he needs or wants. He just is very emotional. And, so it's like, now because I'm very trained and I know what to look, and I'm trained with him specifically, so I know what to check in with about what he needs or wants. And I don't go into this huge thing of, well, he's trying to get attention, he's being selfish, blah, blah, blah. You can go into all those judgments and it makes no difference in the conversation. So I stayed in my adult state when I was interacting with him while he was being a 3-year-old, right? Almost 3-year-old, not quite 3-year-old. And then I just went, okay, let's see, does he have a fever right now? Yes. Is he hungry too? Yes. Does he need to take a nap? Yes. Okay, which is most important right now? Cuddling. Yeah, so that's how me being an adult state interacted with him being in his little 3-year-old to almost 3-year-old state, and not being able to express what's going on for him and ask for what he needs. I stayed in my adult state instead of going to my childlike state as well, and going, oh, I can't handle this. What's wrong with him? And why can't he be more mature than I'm being childlike? So two children reacting together just doesn't go very well, right?
No, but it's really funny how much when you say parts of this, what shows up for me is how we all have emotions, and that's different than a childlike state. And there's nothing wrong with having those moments of just feeling really sad or angry or confused or upset.
Or all of it together, which I've experienced the last week with the war.
Yeah. And I'm really present to like what you're saying about, there's a difference between childlike, that there's just pure emotions and you're not getting to a place of like looking to resolve a problem or what's at the heart of the problem. And I think, like, as you were sharing what was there is, it might be really useful to talk to somebody when you can't identify it on your own. That's like the first thing that came to mind. And then the other thing that comes to mind for me is the last time I was upset, it was over something that was very strange. And I had to call a friend, and they're like, I don't, I don't know. Like, have you thought about writing it out and like trying to write it from the perspective of this person who did the thing that you found strange? And I was like, oh, I guess I could do that. I didn't want to. And then when I actually started the process, I saw something and could like release my feelings about it. So that was just phenomenally useful. And then to like, hone this down a bit, I'm wondering, how do you know when you're in a childlike state?
When I have a really tough time even identifying what's going on with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I have my ability to vocalize it is very low. So then I go into being like my grandson, a puddle on the floor, and then I realize I'm not doing so well. So then I start taking care of I address the physical aspects of myself first. Drinking some water, making sure I've eaten. If I need to take a nap today, I didn't do so well with sleep. So that's how I took care of myself today, is I took a nap. Because I wasn't doing so well. I was like, oh, I'm not dealing with life so well. I'm going to just take a short nap. And that's addressing it instead of, if I can address it before I go into that child puddle state, that's what I'm going to call it, the 3-year-old, then I can continue to put voice to it, or I can continue to take actions, get in communication, color it out, express myself. And you are still, even when you are a 3-year-old, you are expressing yourself, just oftentimes you're not able to work through it on your own. And if you have someone else in the household that's really good at being able to point it out and help listen and support you, great. If you don't, then you have to find ways to work through it yourself, which is what I usually do, because my other person runs away when I'm being a 3-year-old. They hide, run and hide. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure what age run and hide is. I think that's a little bit older.
Could be different hiding stages in different ways.
Yeah. I would say this is probably close to a teenager, like a 10, 11-year-old.
For me, it's when I can't calm down. That's a good indication. So in other words, like, I can't set the thought aside, and it's playing on repeat, and I have to like talk to somebody, or have to like physically run, or I'm like really immobile. So like getting out of bed's really tough, because I'm so like internally upset, but it doesn't look like a kid like puddle. It looks like an adult like puddle is how I see it, because it's not uncommon that if you're really grappling for something, through something, or with something, it's hard to get out of bed. And then how do you know when you're in an adult state? And I'm also wondering, like, how do you shift into being in an adult state?
Take care of the basic needs: food, water, sleep, or just self-care, sometimes just to calm down my nervous system. So I find if I hum, that will help calm my nervous system down, and then I can actually be adult. And then the other thing is I ask questions, and very specifically, instead of what's wrong here, I go, okay, if I'm acting from an adult state, what would I do right now? And sometimes, because I'm Christian, I'll say, if I were Christ-like, what would I do right now? So But it's like if I was being an adult, what would I do right now is a great place for me to just get my brain to start looking in a different direction instead of looking at everything that's wrong and the world's falling apart, which is very childlike state that the world's falling apart.
Okay.
It's like, okay, what can I do right now to support myself? Yeah. And that's one of the things that helps me shift. And it can be really simple. Just get a drink of water. It can be go for a walk. It can be take a great big deep breath. It could be go get something healthy to eat. Or, this week I just thought I just recognized some of my behaviors. Like for me, just to go buy water filters helped me shift out of my childlike state. I mean, it sounds so ridiculous, but it's like, if I don't have clean water, how am I going to take care of myself? So I went and bought 10 water filters that will last me over a year. But it worked. Oh, yeah.
For me, it's when I'm looking at what action needs to be taken and like I'm talking to people. So like if it's talking to somebody in a way of like resolving an issue, calling someone up and saying, how would you say this or how would you word this? Because, I don't always feel like confident or grounded in my wording. So like having that extra support really makes a difference for me. And then the other thing that I noticed is like if I'm down, if I'm feeling really down, then that moment where I sit down and make a list of all the things that I need to do, want to do, would love to do, and that like I
Yeah.
start tackling the things that are on the need to do list and like tackling it, like putting it on the calendar or tackling it, like doing it. And that really starts to shift me out of any kind of state where I'm thinking I can't manage things. And so that definitely seems to shift me.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a great way to use questions to get you out of your childlike state.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share?
Well, that really covered it for me. I really thank you. And viewers would love to hear from you. Like, what do you notice? What behaviors do you have when you're in a childlike state? And how do you shift yourself out? Or how do you see you could out of our conversation today? Thank you.
Thank you.